Baker here. We're doing the Cigar Box Nation TV broadcast, trying to do it every day at noon. And today I want to show off a little something that just got finished up this morning. This morning it has indeed been all about the bass. If you watched the workshop tour we did a couple of days ago when Shane was here, I pointed out leaning against my workbench and I decided it's time to finish this thing. And here it is. Basically, if you want to come in, Glenn's on the camera here. Say hi, Glenn.
Howdy.
Basically what it is I used an old piece of a ladder as the neck. It was like an 8-foot wooden ladder with wooden rungs that used to go into these holes. So that forms the neck. It goes down onto a brace that's here in the tub. I made a big oak brace that this is mounted to fairly sturdily. It moves a little bit, get a little bit of tremolo action there. Piece of reclaimed plywood. It's like 1/4-inch plywood off of some sort of packing crate we got at some point as the soundboard. The bridge I made, this is a piece of an old church pew that I've had stuck under my bench for a long time. That I looked at it kind of looked a little bridge-like, so I just formed that. And then my tailpiece is an old faucet thing there. And one extra thing I did, this here is the end of, it's actually one of the rungs from the ladder. It's a sound post. That goes all the way through and actually pushes out the back here. So the back is under tension from the sound post through from the front. My hope was that that would transfer some of the vibrations through to the back and get the whole tub kind of vibrating. Honestly, I don't know a lot about basses, especially upright basses, so pretty much made it up as I went. The fingerboard here that's screwed to the neck, this is maple. This is a piece of old floorboard from the crayon factory my grandfather worked at in Ohio. So I was able to make use of a piece of that and a couple of our bass, jumbo bass diddly bow tuners there that I got mounted to the back. That's the only factory made pieces on this one. I believe everything else is reclaimed. Right now I've only got one string on it. The goal is to have 2 strings eventually, but I've got to find the right strings to use. This is braided stainless steel wire that is actually used for hanging framed pictures. You run that on the back, and I gotta tell you, braided wire is hard on the fingers. But it was enough to get it. You know, you always, when you build something new, at least for me, there's always that moment of, you know, what's it gonna sound like? And I get towards the end of something and I just kind of rush and it doesn't need any linseed oil, it doesn't need anything, let's just get it strung up and see how it sounds. So that's the state this is in right now. It's strung up. You can hear it's got a pretty good, I got it to a low G right now, and this braided wire is having a hard time holding the note. It's still stretching and giving. I got to get to Lowe's and get some weed whacker line or something, try some different things on it, but you hear it. Also, I found, I don't know, a lot of you may have seen the YouTube video of the guy over in Malawi, Africa, with the big long neck, the 1-string thing, and he's using a beer bottle as his slide. Well, he's just hitting the 1, 4, 5 notes, kind of like this. So I'm pretty happy with it so far. It took a while to do, and honestly, like with pretty much any handmade instrument, there's a lot of things in hindsight I'd do differently if I decided to build another one. But we're going to have a lot of fun with it. It's going to become one of the permanent fixtures of the Gitty Juke Shack here. After we had our jam session the other night when Shane was here, most of the Gitty crew came in and we did some jamming, some picking and grinning, and we realized, boy, we need something with some bass to it. And then we when Dale was playing the djembe in here, it was a little too much. We really need to build a cajon. So we've got plans for a cajon, and we want to use reclaimed materials and try to make it look as much like a Cuban fruit crate as we can, because as the story goes, the original cajons were made down in Cuba using fruit crates as the base, because they got a lot of fruit crates down there. So a cajon, a bass, plenty of cigar box guitars and handmade instruments, and we hope to have a pretty good setup up here. So that's the main thing I wanted to show you today, making an upright bass from a wash tub. Now, of course, this is a lot, it's more advanced than you have to do. You can make a wash tub bass, and actually this in the past was a more, I don't want to say traditional, but you lay it down flat, you've got a broomstick that comes up and a clothesline tied to an eye hook in the center, and you hold it down with your foot and you're going back and forth with the handle. That's what this started as. Now it's been reincarnated as an upright bass, so it's seen a bit of life, and hopefully you'll see a good bit more up here on this stage. So let me make sure I'm in tune. And we've got a little something special, because it turns out this is a special day. So we're going to call some other people in here, as much of the Gitty crew as we could rustle up on short notice, because none of this is scripted. we come up with the plan about 10 minutes ahead of time and then go for it. So give me a strum there, Nick. So it turns out that today is a special day because it is the birthday of Shane Speal, king of the cigar box guitar, founder of Cigar Box Nation. He is somewhere in the midst of his 40s. I don't want to be rude and say exactly where, but if you're good at math, you could say that he's turning 21 for the 25th time today. So we're going to sing a little happy birthday to him. Glenn, if you want, you could stick that in the tripod there and come join us.
I know you want to.
I don't think he wanted to.
Yes. He's like, darn it, and now I look like a jerk if I don't come sing.
All right. Not a lot of rehearsal went in. Maybe move it as far back towards. That's as far as it goes. All right. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Shane. Happy birthday to you. Let's go. All right. Hey, we're done. Good night and goodbye.